Colton stands out is in his emerging on-air contributions. He doesn't overstep, but when he chimes in, it's often with smart, measured takes or a well-timed jab that adds personality to the segment. Ty Richardson is a polarizing but passionate voice in Arkansas sports radio. As host of the Morning Rush on ESPN Arkansas, he brings youthful energy, deep Razorback fandom, and a willingness to stir the pot. He's clearly well-informed on Arkansas athletics and committed to the craft. However, his style can sometimes border on brash, and critics argue that he leans too heavily on fandom over objectivity. His takes, while confident, occasionally lack nuance or broader context. Some listeners find his delivery grating or overly provocative, though others would call that part of his charm. Pittman remains beloved in Fayetteville for his authenticity and love of the Razorbacks, but goodwill has limits. If the wins don't follow in 2025, especially in a brutal SEC landscape, Pittman risks being remembered more for his charm than his record.
Live from the Busch Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
All right, so here on a Think Tank Tuesday. Thursday. Jeez Louise. Great start, Ty. What did chat say that was right? What did chat say that was wrong? What do you think? At 877-377-6963 here on a Think Tank Thursday. We were kind of talking about it prior to the show this morning, is like the evaluation aspect. We're always being evaluated, whether it's me, Colton, Sam Pittman, heading into his sixth season here at Arkansas. How would you evaluate year six? How would you evaluate heading into this upcoming season? You're a chat there. You're the evaluation of me and him. Some was probably accurate. Some was not. But we decided that we should grade out the Morning Rush, Chuck and Bo, Halftime, Ruskin, and Zach. So just to kind of get a sense of what chat thinks about each individual shows. I personally have not. Now, Colton's heard these. I have not. There wasn't any editing. It was just, all right, let's take what chat says and plug it in, basically. So we'll get to that coming up here as we get going here on a Think Tank Thursday, brought to you by Bet Saracen, Arkansas's #1 sports betting app. You want to make a little wager on the Hogs 5.5 season line? Do you want to make a wager on some player props that are soon to come for that Alabama A&M game? NFL, college football is going to be here before we know it. You can bet on MLB right now. There's a lot of season win totals you can bet on, and it's all on the Bet Saracen app. Arkansas's #1 sports betting app. Go to iTunes, go to the Apple Store, and then also go to the Google Play Store where you'll find the Bet Saracen app. Arkansas's #1 sports betting app. Benjamin and Poto texting in their sports on Ruskin and Zach? Question mark? Sometimes. They talk about it from time to time. But so we start with the Morning Rush. We start with the earliest show. Where do you think we should, Colton? This is your baby, so I'll let you dictate which we should go.
Doing this at your direction. Look, I think that I asked ChatGPT to give a critical review. I asked the same questions. I didn't say, hey, give a critical review of these bozos or whatnot. You just ask them straight questions, so there's no bias. Chat just takes the information from the internet out there in the Twitter sphere and whatnot, and forms its own opinion, gives a critical review. So it's on that first page with everything else because there's lots of them.
Okay.
So yeah.
The Chuck and Bo Show offers a laid-back but informed approach to Arkansas sports talk, anchored by two voices who bring experience and perspective. The show thrives on its conversational tone, less about hot takes and more about steady, thoughtful analysis. Chuck's veteran presence lends credibility, especially when diving into Razorback history or SEC dynamics, while Bo brings a grounded, everyman sensibility that keeps the show relatable. The strength of the show lies in its balance. It doesn't rely on volume or shock to grab attention. Instead, it feels like two knowledgeable fans talking over coffee, but with the research and context to back it up. For listeners tired of constant yelling or clickbait radio, Chuck and Bo offers a more mature, digestible alternative.
All right, so that's Chuck and Bo, part one. We'll get into part twos as we get into hour number 2 here on a Think Tank Thursday. Just talking to Phil about 30 minutes ago. Here's how chat would describe halftime with him, Matt, and Big C.
Halftime is ESPN Arkansas's midday blend of sports insight and offbeat charm, driven by the unique pairing of veteran broadcaster Phil Elson and former Razorback quarterback Matt Jones. The chemistry between the two is unconventional but compelling. Phil brings structure, deep knowledge, especially of baseball, and dry wit, while Matt adds a raw, unfiltered perspective steeped in SEC playing experience and locker room mentality.
Bang.
Matt Jones is the wild card. He doesn't always speak like a polished radio host, but that's part of his appeal. His off-the-cuff observations can veer from brilliant to bizarre, often in the same sentence. He brings authenticity, unpredictability, and a football IQ that, when locked in, elevates the show. At times, though, his looseness can derail segments or blur the show's focus, especially for listeners craving more structured analysis.
Hard disagree on the last part.
All right, and then I'm listening to these in real time. Colton has heard this. This is
You should have listened to these.
This Ruskin is all right. Again, part 1 of Ruskin and Zach. We'll get into part 2 of each show coming up.
I will say I don't think the chat knows how to pronounce all the names correctly.
This is going to be great.
Russin and Zach is the afternoon shot of adrenaline on ESPN Arkansas. Loud, irreverent, and fully aware of it, the show thrives on personality and confrontation, with Derek Rushin and Zach Arns delivering Razorback talk laced with sarcasm, pop culture references, and unfiltered opinions. They're not afraid to mock callers, challenge fan narratives, or poke holes in Razorback hype trains, and that's exactly what some listeners love about them. The duo plays off each other with well-practiced rhythm. Derek brings the edge and intensity, while Zach offers a more measured, often hilarious counterbalance. The result is a show that feels less like traditional sports radio and more like a daily roast of Arkansas sports, media, and even their own audience.
That's probably the most.
These are very accurate.
That's oh man, those are great. Oh, those are great. Think Tank Thursday. We might as well continue. There's a football thing I want to get to coming up.
Yeah.
Richard Davenport said something yesterday that I think is important to kind of open up here for this morning. B texting in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, mocking callers. Yes. I heard Jaheim Singletary talking about Nick Perry, new cornerbacks coach, former Alabama defensive back. This is what he said.
He got that swag about him.
He got that swag about him. We heard from Nick Perry. We played a clip or two of him yesterday when he spoke with the media on Tuesday. So I, in turn, then thought, who has more swag? Is it the features editor and longtime publisher of Hogs Illustrated, features editor of Whole Hog Sports, longtime publisher of Hogs Illustrated, Hall of Famer and Clay Henry, or market manager, Morning Rush co-host, and Tommy Kraft? And I was going back and forth, and I thought to myself, what does chat think? Who has more swag between the two? Here's what chat said.
Now that's a Razorback radio showdown. Tommy Kraft has that buttoned-up broadcaster swag, the early riser discipline, clean delivery, and smooth transitions. He's polished, confident, and carries himself like the guy who runs the room, which, to be fair, he often does. His swag comes from being in control, staying on message, and keeping the morning rush on track, even when the chaos kicks in. It's
me.
that I've been doing this a while swagger. Less flash, more function. Clay Henry, on the other hand, brings the old-school Razorback philosopher swag. He's not loud, but he doesn't have to be. His stories, history, and slow-burn wisdom carry weight. Clay has that I knew Frank Broyles personally kind of presence. He shows up with a notebook, a trout fishing story, and a take that sounds like it came from a front porch in Mountain Home, but somehow hits like a mic drop. That's Arkansas dad swag, and it's real. Verdict? If we're talking clean lines and mic presence, Tommy Kraft.
Oh!
If we're talking deep cuts, slow-cooked insight, and Razorback soul, Clay Henry. Clay's got more natural swag. Tommy's got more studio swag. You decide what plays better on a Thursday morning.
Great tempered response by chat.
Oh, man. That's fantastic. We were going to be asking chat. Colton's not going to be here next week, obviously, with his newborn. But
I can do my job for him.
Post Colton's week off with this kiddo, we're going to be asking chat here on Think Tank Thursdays whether Tommy or Clay has more swag, what's going on with Arkansas football, and anything else under the sun that you would like to ask chat. And I think the best way to do it, obviously you're going to load these clips, is don't let Tommy or me know what he says.
Okay.
Like in real time, and I promise to our audience, like Hand up to God right now. I had not heard any of those this morning. I heard the open, and that was about it. So good stuff, Colton. Good stuff, Chad. Thought that was a good start to your
Thank you, Chad.
Our Thursday morning. Hey, I'll tell you a great place you could stay this weekend or anytime you come up to Fayetteville, Rogers, Bentonville. It's the Inn at the Mill because it's in that perfect location. Johnson off exit I-49. Concerts at the Amp, staycation, Razorback football, basketball, baseball games, business travel, doing whatever. You're going to find it at the Inn at the Mill. 479-443-1800 or visit inatthemill.com. Inatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present. JT in Hot Springs just texted in, wow. That's all he said. Benjamin and Poto, Ruskin and Zach, truer words were never uttered. He loved it this morning. Matt in Baldwin wants to talk about that Arkansas is in the top 25 in revenue and only ahead in Vanderbilt in staff spending in football. Then you throw in we scheduled Arkansas State and Little Rock, Memphis, and to top it off with Notre Dame. Are we trying to suck in football? Matt, good question. You kind of blend into what I want to discuss with what Richard said yesterday. First off, if you don't reach yourself at Whole Hog Sports or Tom's or anyone over there, you're doing yourself a disservice. They'll do a good job. There's a good piece of information from Ethan Westerman that we'll get into coming up. But Richard was on with us yesterday. He's on vacation for a little bit, so it's good to have him back. And he got into something that was kind of talked about at SEC Media Days, but Richard really broke it down for us. And that's our opening drive this morning.
Yeah, Arkansas's pretty much dead last in the SEC as far as staffing. They tie with Vanderbilt with 5 people devoted to the recruiting staff, where everybody else, I wouldn't say all, but most, or a good number of SEC schools have double or triple the amount of recruiting personnel. I was able to do some research through various sources, and Arkansas is dead last in salaries also.
This is the opening drive.
So Dave Shoemate, who's a friend of mine that works for SEC Unfiltered, he's worked in different football offices before, asked Sam Pittman, first question, main media room. It's like he started listing off these in-state recruiting issues and salaries and other things, and I think it caught, honestly, Coach Pittman off guard a little bit. It wasn't like a shot. It was just like, this is what you have to deal with. How do you go about doing it? And then Richard yesterday, and as you heard just right there, really gets into like Vanderbilt. We are tied with Vanderbilt on the recruiting staff. And so when I hear Arkansas fans say, we don't care enough about competing in football, it's like, okay, you have to back that up. That's
pretty concrete.
That's
right
pretty
there.
concrete right there. And I don't deal with salaries with the exception of my own. I'm not in Tommy's position or Hunter's position or any other CEO's, manager, or whatever. And I know you've got to cut corners here and there, especially with the change with revenue distribution and all that. But I don't know how you expect to compete not just in state for top recruits, but out of state.
Well, have you been? Have you been in the last 20, 30 years? No,
well,
barely.
If in state, yes. Out of state, not as much. But we've talked about, I mean, you might get 1 or 2 of these 2026 kids in state, and all of them elsewhere, or all of them are going elsewhere, which is to me a problem. Pull up and I can rattle them off. Do me a favor. Pull up the 2021 roster, the last great Arkansas team. I can rattle some off just the top of my head. Razorback ties in Arkansas. Hayden Henry, Traylon Burks, probably the most notable one. I think that's where people immediately go to is Traylon Burks. Yes, you had kids from out of state. You got Rocket from Rockledge, Florida. You got AJ from Tulsa Union. You got Bumper. I know Bumper's, I think both of his parents went to Arkansas, but he was a Texas kid, Frisco, if I remember that right. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you didn't have players from outside the state. It has to always be a combination. But that team was littered with plenty of in-state kids that made Arkansas the best team it's been since 2011. I think that team, and I think it'd be close, but I think that team is still better than that 2015 team that Bielema had. Here's the point. Here's what I'm driving at and what Richard kind of discussed yesterday. Arkansas is behind on the recruiting side of things already because of the lack of in-state talent. And now you're not getting that in-state talent. I don't know how we ever get back to a 9 or 10 win football team unless something is done there. Now, you all correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure Cal has an open book, whether it's staff, whether it's recruiting. And I know what Remy Cofield said a month or so ago about, hey, there might just be an instance or two where we got to tell a coach that we can't get a guy. Do you really think that's going to happen with Cal? Like, I'm just being honest with you. Do you think that's going to be a situation where him or Hunter or someone else is like, John really wants this guy, but we got to pay him 1.5 or 2. Do you really think that conversation is going to be asked like we can't get him? I don't personally. I don't. I think if you lose out on recruit, it's probably not going to be money oriented. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be completely off base on that, but that is just what I think about the current financial situation with Arkansas basketball. I don't think baseball's to that level. I think the likes of LSU, maybe a couple other schools are spending more money than maybe what Dave Van Horn has at his disposal, but it's top 10, maybe top 5, and I don't think, like, I don't have to have a sheet in front of me to tell me. I think you could just assume that, right? Mm-hmm. But football, if you're on the same level as Vanderbilt spending recruiting-wise, which, by the way, they beat you last time. I know that was under Morris. I'd be curious to see how Vandy would do against Arkansas this year. I think that'd be an awesome game against Diego Pavia and Taylor Green. It'd be an exciting game. But we're not on the same. I don't consider Arkansas as the same level as Vanderbilt.
No.
In football. Does anyone else here? They were the doormat for a number of years in this conference, and yet we find ourselves, unfortunately, closer to them than we are at the likes of LSU and Alabama and Georgia and some of the big dogs in this league. And maybe that should just be how it is from now on. But I don't. So to go back to Richard's point, like, how do you counteract this? Like, if Sam doesn't have unlimited NIL money, like I think Cal does, he doesn't have a great in-state crew of, and this 2026 class looks actually pretty good. I think there's about 20 kids that are 3-star or better, so it's a pretty good crop.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like Arkansas is getting a lot. And you're not spending money recruiting to maybe find those diamonds in the rough that you need to compete at Arkansas. Where do we go?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Ty, I think if you look at it, a 4-star kid from Arkansas most of the time is equivalent to a 3-star kid from Georgia or Texas or Florida. And I think that, unfortunately, that's kind of the way that the table has turned for where they want to go and recruit their players. And I don't know if that's, if there's any basis to that, but that's how it looks to me. Is that's often the case, is that a lot of these kids that are 4 or 5 stars from Arkansas, they often are a little bit overhyped occasionally from time to time. And sure, there are some that the Razorbacks have gotten that were huge hits. McFadden, Sosa Agim, some really, really good players. But occasionally a lot of those players go to other schools and don't pan out. And that's because the level of talent in this state is a little bit different than some of the surrounding, states that Arkansas is near. I don't know exactly why there's this big disconnect between the high school football talent in this state and actually going up to play for the flagship university. We had Butu on Monday, and you asked him, Ty, how can we sort of get this fixed a little bit? And Coach Butu had stuff to say about it.
Can evaluate players, man. A lot of players go to these camps, and and everything is about 4-star and 5-star right now. But some of these kids, you have maybe a 2-star, 3-star. Some of the kids we got just haven't had the exposure, and hadn't got the chance to get ranked yet. So we got some guys here that may be a 3-star or 4-star, but just hadn't been to those same camps. So I would say definitely need to evaluate the guys, man, and have somebody who's really good at the player evaluation when you recruit, and so you just won't be blinded by the 4-stars or 5-stars.
I think that Sam Pittman and his staff have done a really good job in evaluating the transfer portal. Mm-hmm. I think you can commend them. I think you can be proud of how they've gone about it, being that they don't have as much money as a lot of other institutions and coaches they go up against, and they still churn out SEC quality football players, and they bring in that. I think a lot of people, and I think it's fair, I don't think it's out of bounds, question why the in-state recruiting and some of the other high school players haven't panned out in situations like you think they should or they probably should have. I want to open up the Lewis Automotive Group hotline here at 877-377-6963. Again, Richard breaks this down really. Did I say well or good? I want him up blank on it. Help me on that. You say really good or well? One of the two. Either way, this is why I don't write. I shouldn't be talking either, but does a great job. And if you haven't read it, I would encourage you to do so. Probably honestly recap it with him next week in case anyone missed it. And you could, of course, go back and listen to our conversation yesterday on hitthatline.com and our Hit That Line Now app, which you know is always powered by our friends at Taco Bell. Whether you're craving something cheesy, saucy, they're going to have it for you at Taco Bell. It's become my road trip. Anytime I go on the road, I'm always stopping in and eating some Taco Bell. All right, when we come back, we got the schedule for Arkansas basketball. I say not the full thing, but most of it. Arkansas's got marquee Saturday games. Woo!
Let's go.
You've got an awesome schedule. You open up at Tennessee, as we told you yesterday. Kentucky coming in the building at the end of January. That's a Saturday game. Maybe game day will be here for the first time ever basketball-wise. So a lot to look forward to with this upcoming basketball season. Plus a couple football players in some watch lists. Tommy's favorite thing, and the All-Americans. By the way, he's gone today and tomorrow, so we'll get him back on Monday. Stay with us. Think Tank Thursday continues on the Morning Rush.
HitThatLine.com for your daily fix. Arkansas Razorbacks and every word and mix. Keep it tuned, keep it live, they never steer wrong. Morning's much brighter with this duo song. Crafty Richardson, the perfect blend. Morning Rush together, they'll drive you till the end. From the south to the north, spreading that Razorback cheer. Every weekday morning, they're the voices you hear.
Designed by Jason Christie, the Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options: Colorado for maximum thump, Willow for bright flash, and the one the pros won't talk about, the Oklahoma blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait, here for one thing.
Fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. And this is Matt. We're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville, your headquarters for all things Razorback.
From clothing items like Nike, Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many more,
to a wide range of home, office, and fan cave decorations.
We even have furniture, a pool table, stuff for the yard, garden, and too much other stuff to mention.
So no matter if you're headed to the game or watching from your living room, stop by the Stadium Shop at 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville. That's 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
or stop by the Interweb store at shoponrazorback.com.
Whoa, that's a first, Dad. You actually got it right. How'd you do that?
Well, I use that Googleator thing.
And we're back.
Anyway, that was shoponrazorback.com.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, and I have a plaque to prove it.
Folks, it just does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Some listeners find his delivery grating or overly provocative, though others would call that part of his charm.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hey everyone, David Rath here with Rath Auto Resources. Since the state's giving you a tax-free weekend, we figured we'd go one better. 2 weekends of state sales tax paid when you trade, and all the weekdays in between. Just bring in your old car and upgrade to the road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle of your choice and get state sales tax paid. Get state sales tax paid when you trade, now through August 9th. Just another reason why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, rathautofortsmith.com.
The difference between an average morning and a Hardee's morning is hearty goodness that lasts till lunchtime. Like Hardee's smoked sausage biscuit. Split Hillshire Farm smoked sausage on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. And our Frisco breakfast sandwich with cherrywood smoked bacon or ham on toasted sourdough. Hardee's, goodness in the making. Download the app and join my rewards for special offers. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Busch Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch, Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
Are you looking for a great place to stay, hang out, and eat this summer? How about Shangri-La Resort in Madida, Arkansas? This is Phil Carr. For more than 70 years, my family has enjoyed seeing you. Yes, even Ty. Come fish, swim, and boat on the best body of water in all of Arkansas, Lake Ouachita. The cafe is open for you 7 days a week with daily specials. I'm up every morning at 3:30 making mom's pies. Call 870-867-2011 to book. Shangri-La Resort in beautiful Madida, Arkansas, a touch of paradise and a boatload of fun.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
There's only one Razorback.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those. 7 down. This one belongs to the Razorbacks. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Colin. Alex has got room.
Everybody, woo big Philly.
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
So let's just get back into the basketball schedule. Maybe you're just jumping in with us here on a Think Tank Thursday at 9:28 this morning. But the Arkansas Razorbacks, as we found out yesterday, will be hosting the Tennessee Volunteers on Saturday, January the 3rd. That's followed up by road trips to Ole Miss and Auburn. That's a key part of the schedule. Then, I know everyone wants to know one thing. When's the Kentucky game, Ty? January the 31st, also a Saturday, and then you have a bye after, which is kind of nice because we know the emotional toll that takes on both teams, especially after last season. Kentucky got it kind of in that rut for a little bit, which was nice. So again, end of January, you'll play them. You'll also be hosting the Auburn Tigers on February the 14th, and you follow that up with the road trip to Alabama. So that's a big back-to-back consecutive games. You close out the season with road contests against Florida, at home against Texas, and then at Missouri before you play in Nashville, Tennessee. Colton, you spoke to it earlier. Favorable schedule for Arkansas.
Yeah, you don't have to go to any two. I mean, you do have to go to Auburn, but eventually you get to maybe get back and see them, at your own place. But other than that, nothing really too scary for me. It's kind of unfortunate. What is it? 6 out of the last 9 years you have to go play Alabama in Tuscaloosa. That's kind of miserable.
Annoying.
It doesn't really make any sense to me. I'd love to see Alabama come to Fayetteville to play a game. We usually play them a lot better. But yeah, for the most part, Ty, you don't have any really serious road trips that scare me and think they may lose 2 or 3 right back to back because of the fact that this is a very difficult road schedule. And Ty, I think that there's some really good games that you get at home. You get Auburn at home later on Valentine's Day. That should be a fun night. And then also that last 4 stretch right there, Texas A&M, Florida, Texas, and Missouri. That's going to be tough because you have to play Florida and Missouri on the road. Going to Florida to match up against Boogie Fland,
I wish
the
he was
defending
coming.
national champions. That's a tall ask.
Yeah, I think the Xavier Lee kid that transferred from Princeton, if I remember that right. So as it is a Think Tank Thursday, and by the way, Clay was listening, and he said, I guess I do have backboard swagger. Clay, I would agree with that. He also was messing with me about having charm, which, yeah, to some people I don't, some people I do. He's just joshing me, but good stuff from Chat. So what does Chat think about Arkansas basketball in the SEC? Take a listen.
Arkansas basketball is one of the biggest question marks in the SEC this year. With John Calipari bringing in a loaded transfer class, the talent is undeniable, but so are the chemistry concerns. The Razorbacks could finish anywhere from 3rd to 9th, depending on how quickly the new pieces gel. If Calipari gets buy-in on defense and roles settle early, they're a top 5 SEC team with legit tournament upside. But if egos clash or shooting struggles continue, middle of the pack feels more likely. Either way, expect drama, headlines, and a finish that keeps fans sweating into March.
All right, Chad, I've got some questions.
Yeah.
One, there's not a lot of transfers. This is why you have to take some things with a grain of salt.
I don't
when
edit
you
what Chat says.
And that's good. Again, this is real-time reaction for me. They don't have a massive transfer class. They've got 3 freshmen coming in, Darius Acuff, Malik Thomas, and also Isaiah Steele, which I know a lot of people are excited about because maybe you got a chance to watch him in high school. But it's not like honestly, this is one of the largest group of guys coming back that Cal's had recently, which is great. DJ, Trev. I mean, you got a good crew coming back. So I'm excited for this next season. Yes, there's additions like Malik Ewan and Nick Pringle, which front court wise, that front court looks potent. So we'll see. We'll see, but a loaded home basketball schedule for Arkansas.
To Chat's point, all the shooters you're supposed to have are basically unproven, so hopefully that is not your demise. But yeah, Chat's kind of wrong on that. it's not a big transfer class, and 3rd place is a ceiling. No,
that's why you don't use ChatGPT to write a college paper,
right,
or an article or something like that. I was gonna ask Tom here about there. You ever thought about using Chat to write an article? And knowing Tom being old school, it hasn't even entered his mind, and it shouldn't, because you get answers or you get statements like that from time to time. All right, Cam Shanks listed as a first-team Sporting News punt returner All-American. Cool for Cam. Omega Blake has been listed as a Biletnikoff watch list guy. Continuing on Tommy's favorite tradition of watch list season. And I saw, I guess Hudson Clark made the unofficial depth chart for the Raiders in the preseason. Well. So congratulations to Hud. Hopefully he makes it for the actual season as well.
Smart football player, Hudson Clark. That's going to keep him in the NFL for a long time. If he knows, he's always been around the ball, very smart football player.
All right, that is your Hog Update here this morning, brought to you by Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888 Sparky.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. If Chat was around during school, I would at least consider the idea of maybe a paper or an article or something of two.
Homework assignment.
A homework assignment of some two. I don't know how kids avoid that. Hopefully, they're just better people than I am, because that would have at least been considered. Hopefully, I wouldn't have actually done it. We've got some audio clips I also want to play for Mini Gaming Saturday, more the Arkansas side of things, which I think it's going to be cool for fans to listen to. Colton offered me his Netflix password last night, and I refused because I didn't want him getting kicked off the account, especially with him about to have a kid and being on the couch with his loving wife and kid a lot. So that would be dire if he didn't have access
Very gracious.
to his Netflix account. But thank you for sending. Hey, we're brought to you this morning by APAC and Standard Materials Group. Maybe you need that solution for a construction project. Well, they have it. Aggregates, asphalt, ready-mix concrete. Maybe you need more than just materials. Surveying, engineering, construction, drone capabilities, trucking, and logistics, all under one roof. Call them, 479-587-3300. One more time, 479-587-3300 for APAC and Standard Materials Group. When we come back, speaking of that kid that Colton's about to have, I need some advice for him. That's our Morning Rush Daily Question.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years.
Designed by Jason Christie, the Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options: Colorado for maximum thump, Willow for bright flash, and the one the pros won't talk about, the Oklahoma blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait, here for one thing.
Fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert.
And this is Matt. We're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville, your headquarters for all things Razorback.
From clothing items like Nike, Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many more,
to a wide range of home, office, and fan cave decorations.
We even have furniture, a pool table, stuff for the yard, garden, and too much other stuff to mention.
So no matter if you're headed to the game or watching from your living room, stop by the Stadium Shop at 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville. That's 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville.
Or call us at 479 Stadium. That's 479-782-3486.
or stop by the Interweb store at shoponrazorback.com.
Whoa, that's a first, Dad. You actually got it right. How'd you do that?
Well, I use that Googleator thing.
And we're back.
Anyway, that was shoponrazorback.com.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, and I have a plaque to prove it.
Folks, it just does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hawks.
What makes Arkansas special is the people of the state.
This is the Morning Rush.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
Now at Hardee's, 2 hand-breaded chicken tender wraps are only $5. Mix and match your favorite flavors like buttermilk ranch, honey mustard, and spicy. Endless combinations start with 2 warm tortillas, each filled with 100% white meat, juicy on the inside, crispy on the outside, hand-breaded chicken tenders. Any 2 wraps, now just $5. Hardee's, goodness in the making. These items only. Price and participation may vary. Tax not included. Visit restaurant for details.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Agent Randy Milam in Alma or Agent Brandon Zimmerman in Barlam.
Hey, it's Matt Jones. If the weather has wrecked your roof and you need a roofing company you can trust, call my friends at Patriot Brothers Roofing. They are licensed, bonded, insured, and lifetime River Valley residents located in Van Buren.
Thanks, Matt. We are also the only roofing company in the River Valley that installs a full CertainTeed integrity roof system and registers a 50-year warranty directly with CertainTeed. Avoid the door knockers and storm chasers. We are local and we will be here long after the storm chasers are gone.
Check out PatriotBrothersRoofing.com or call 479-652-9479.
Patriot Brothers Roofing, because your home deserves only the best.
You looking to revamp your closet? Tired of wearing the same old stuff? Hey, Ty Richardson for Roback, one of our new partners here at ESPN Arkansas. Hoodies, joggers, polos, you name it, they have it. Thankfully, Roback is licensed by the University of Arkansas, so you can add to your Razorback collection. Here's the best part. Because you're an ESPN Arkansas listener, you're going to get 20% off your first order. Just use the code RUSH25 at Roback.com. That's RHOBACK.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. At Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
All right, it's a big day next week for Mr. Colton Little. What advice would you give him for a guy that's about to have a newborn? Lewis Automotive Group hotline open 877-377-6963. Tommy's not here. He would be the first to give you some.
Not qualified.
I'm not qualified. I hear secondhand. Like my buddy Spencer and Erica just had their second daughter. Excited about that. I've got plenty of other friends that are about to pop any second, just to be perfectly honest. They're about to have their kids, and I'm excited for either their second, third, in some cases first. But what advice do you like that?
Well,
by the way, congrats on that.
Thank you.
What advice would you give Colton? Mitchell, go out for cigs and never come back. Cody wants to know if it's a boy or girl.
It's a boy, Cody. Yeah. So, yeah. Look, my thing is, you're never supposed to have the baby on the due date, right? That's just kind of like a fixed date. Most of the time, the baby is going to come whenever it wants, right? Well, this is our first pregnancy. It's our first child, and so I don't know. You know, every woman's body is different, and everything is different. But we were expecting the baby to come before the due date, and it's not here. And so my wife just wants this process over. It's hot as hell outside. I mean, God bless her. You know, she's stuck at home. She's on remote work. I'm not there. She's having to, deal with the fact that it's 89 degrees outside, 85 in our house most of the time because it's expensive, and I always forget to pay the electric bill. Not really, but it's been difficult for her. So she wants this baby out, and I understand that. So we've elected to have an induction. So when you schedule this in, when you pencil this in, for us to go in Sunday night, 9 o'clock, and take all the drugs. I don't know what Gabby's doing. That's what I'm doing. But when you schedule that in, that begins to make me nervous. So anybody out there, if you or if your wife or if you have had a scheduled induction, please tell me that it's going to be okay. That makes me super nervous.
Casey and Ozark, just sleep all you can. Texting in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Brennan texting in from Fort Smith. Brennan has 2 kids, by the way. If Colton isn't already doing this, start now. Your wife is right.
I've been doing that for years.
Devin's always right. Always try to read their mind seems to help. I personally only successfully read her mind 2.3% of the time, but I'm a hero.
2.3?
Yeah, that's
Hall of Famer stats right there. I'd be 0.23.
Jesse in Springdale, sometimes babies just cry. If you've gone through the list, feeding, diaper change, putting to sleep, and the baby's still crying, don't lose your head and just be okay with it. The baby will stop or fall asleep. I'm waiting for the text that says, slap some whiskey on those gums. He's a boy and he can handle it. Haven't seen that just yet.
Well, look, Ty, how many times when you were a kid did you remember having to be rushed to the hospital after hurting yourself by doing something stupid? Literally, I've busted my head open. I had to have concussion, stitches, staples, everything.
My brother broke his arm on a bike, and I got a concussion playing touch football in our friend's front yard. And outside of the torn ACL, which I suffered in basketball, church league, I don't remember another incident where I was having, and maybe Baylor Brad could recite one or give me one that I just don't remember.
I'd love to hear from Baylor.
But that, yeah, he would have I'm sure he
Good
would have
advice.
some good
Some
advice.
very
Considering
sage
he had to deal with me and my brother all these years. Be in Clarksville. Patience, don't rush anything, and take the time to enjoy the heir to the little legacy. Joseph from Newton County, lots of caffeine is my advice. HR guy, my advice would be never to listen to the morning show, only listen to Ruskin and Zach. Let me see. Lots of caffeine. No, you're not going to break the baby. They bounce. LOL. Don't be scared to ask for help if you don't know what to do. And remember to have fun and enjoy the process. We're about to have our second baby within a matter of weeks or days. Thank you, JP.
Congrats to you too, JP.
Thank you, JP and Alma. Dennis in Springdale, all three of his kids were by C-section. Kind of nice scheduling the birth of your child. That's how you have to look at it. You got to look at things the positive way, Cole. You get to schedule. You get to have time.
Well, no. Once Sunday night rolls around, it's going to be game face. I'm going to have the eye black on. I'm going to have the pregame playlist going. I'm going to be a totally different person. I'm going to project every ounce of confidence that I can carry within this little body that I have. But I will say, as of right now, I am a total mess, and I'm just waiting for this to happen. And hopefully I don't screw up. The last thing that I want is to be a gimmick or a joke in the Mercy Labor and Delivery Department for the next 5 years. You remember that time that kid passed out in here? Yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah, that would be funny. Bobby texting in South Carolina. Bobby, Rock Hill, if I remember right, brother, is where Omega Blake's from, who might be Arkansas's best receiver. So maybe you got a chance to watch him. He said that his wife and him went out to eat. I don't know if it was after the birth of their child or if it was just that was more of an occurrence post pregnancy. There's not a lot of content. Bobby, maybe add some context to that so I can help our boy Colton out here.
Cody from Lavaca here is definitely easing my worries. He said both of his kids came at 41 weeks. They were both induced, and everything went perfectly. They were fully cooked. That's good. And he says best advice I can give you is to enjoy the little moments. Plenty of those in my life. My kids are 6 and 7 and wish I could go back to when they were smaller. Time flies. I certainly don't want to blink, but thank you for everybody for your kind and awesome advice. I'm going to save all these and make sure that my wife sees all of them too.
Add them to
Shut up.
the wife rundown. JT in Hot Spring says, learn the words yes, dear. Justin Nutt from the Delph says, have Mo Bamba cranked up.
You got it. You got it. I do have a pregame playlist for driving to the hospital. I do wonder if she'll shut that off pretty quick.
All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily question. What advice do you have for Colton, who's about to enter fatherhood as of next week? Cart Pass Social, number one place in all of Arkansas when it comes to golfing. Christian Olson, Nate Gerhan, great dudes. Two guys that I went to college with and that really wanted to do something for Northwest Arkansas. So they built this incredible facility where if you want to golf, just have fun, go somewhere with your coworkers, birthday parties. You can do it at Cart Pass Social. Go to cartpasssocial.com. Haley, Nate's wife, does a fantastic job with their social media pages on Instagram and Facebook. There's always something fun and new that they're doing at Cart Pass Social. Great place to watch games in the upcoming. They got TVs everywhere. Above your bay, they've got big projection screens everywhere. It's an awesome place. cartpasssocial.com, 122 Grant Place in Lowell. It's always BYOB at Cart Pass Social. All right, let's see if we can get some context from Bobby, because going out to eat is, I feel like that was light. Oh, it went before. They went out to eat before the pregnancy. So maybe take her. What did she want the other day? Dairy Queen? Maybe get her a Blizzard.
I'm not going to freaking Dairy Queen. First of all, that Dairy Queen screwed us over. They said they had one thing on their app and they didn't. And then my wife yelled at me for 10 minutes afterwards because Dairy Queen's fault.
JT says don't take your gaming console.
No, that's locked up, even though I do have a dynasty to protect.
Okay, well, hopefully it's one of those situations that go good. Speaking of dynasties, at one point in time, the Dallas Cowboys were a dynasty in the 1990s. And I know things have fallen on hard times in Dallas with that organization based on where they were to where they are now. There's been some ups, but not as maybe as high as you were, and most certainly not as high as you were. The current situation with the Dallas Cowboys is the ongoing financial, battle back and forth is probably the better way to put it, between Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons. Here's what Jerry had to say about it, I think, yesterday.
It's my understanding nothing was put in writing. So how would you describe a deal getting, so to speak, done and then walked away from?
I bought the Dallas Cowboys with a handshake. Took about 30 seconds. And I gave the number, shook hands. The details we worked out later. As a matter of fact, one of the details involved a lot of money, and we had to flip a coin over that. But the fundamental, I'm buying, and you're going to sell it to me for that range, that's done. And those are done with eye contact and handshake.
Did you guys have a handshake agreement on what the young man's name is going to be? Young kid's name is going to be?
I offered up some options. I offered up a couple really good ones that I thought were great. Colton Little Jr. was struck down almost immediately. I tried to lobby for Ty Richardson's name to be put in. No, but my wife basically decided for us, and I think it's
to be successful.
I think it's a great name. I had a little bit of input, and we got a family name in there, so it's that's how we decided. But is Jerry Jones really still doing contract negotiations like that? Like he's doing he's doing an oil trade?
Tommy's talking about it. That's what he enjoys, and it's a situation where. I mean, you've seen the examples: Dak, CeeDee Lamb, Emmitt Smith. If you want to go back, I mean, this is going to happen. I don't think that Micah Parsons is going to be playing for another team in the National Football League, but there's always these little details that need to go work out. And I agree with Tommy. I think Jerry Jones enjoys doing this. If I was a Cowboys fan, I would not fret over this. I think he's going to end up. Now, what I would fret over is maybe the fact that your team is going to be finishing dead last in the NFC East when you look at the likes of the Washington Commanders, your 200 Jaden Daniels, the defending Super Bowl champion. Maybe you beat out the Giants for third place because the Giants stink. Maybe I'm giving the Giants too much credit, but third place in the NFC East, I don't think is going to get you a playoff spot. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but especially the way Washington came on last year. My goodness gracious, Jaden Daniels was something. And maybe you have another Heisman Trophy winner at LSU and Garrett Nussmeier this year. We'll have to see. I saw, I don't know if you saw this. So you know how rumors run rampant on social media, particularly on X? Well,
someone TCU's quarterback.
Well, that and apparently that has been
debunked. It's debunked.
Yeah, debunked.
It's not real.
Him being a furry has been debunked. But there was some stuff circulating in Baton Rouge yesterday that Nussmeier had torn his ACL, and multiple credible reporters have come out against that, saying that didn't happen. But obviously, here would just be my word of advice, and I would listen to a guy like Tom Murphy, for example, who's going to join us in 10 minutes, or Clay Henry, guys that have established credibility for decades upon decades when it comes to injury news about a player. Now, one of the stipulations to Arkansas media, and this is not just here in Arkansas, but other places as well, being allowed to watch practice, is they're not supposed to report on injuries and stuff. It says, please do not do that. That being said, whether you're an LSU fan or an Arkansas fan, just because something gets put on X or on Facebook or in, I almost said Trello, in Slack or anything else, Discord, doesn't mean it's accurate, especially when things run rampant. Someone could take something and run with it. So like LSU fans yesterday, just kind of stuff happens, calm down, wait to see if Tom or Clay or someone else talks about it, because I'm more often than not, I'm going to trust the credibility of those guys and gals than a message board poster from time to time. All right, we got more to get to in hour number 2 here on a Think Take Thursday. When we come back, we'll get into the second part of Chuck and Bo halftime. Ruskin and Zach. We're also going to ask Chad if Roger Goodell in the National Football League and ESPN, if it's going to be something. By the way, college football red zone might be happening, which could be great. Hey, we had a great conversation with Bruce Stanton earlier this week with Pradco about the best safeties in the SEC. Not only is Bruce fun to talk to, but he's also a part of a company that has the best lures in Arkansas. Go to lurenet.com for the best Pradco lures, such as Rebel, Yum, Booyah, and more. Free U.S. shipping on all U.S. orders over $35. Treat your fishing buddy to their favorite tackle box treasures. Check them out, lurenet.com today. Booyah, Rebel Crawfish, Bobby Garland, Baby Shad, and more, all at lurenet.com. When we come back, it's hour 2. Tom Murphy joins us as well.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Designed by Jason Christie, the Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options: Colorado for maximum thump, Willow for bright flash, and the one the pros won't talk about, the Oklahoma blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait, here for one thing.
Fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert.
And this is Matt. We're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville, your headquarters for all things Razorback.
From clothing items like Nike, Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many more,
to a wide range of home, office, and fan cave decorations.
We even have furniture, a pool table, stuff for the yard, garden, and too much other stuff to mention.
So no matter if you're headed to the game or watching from your living room, stop by the Stadium Shop at 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville. That's 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
or stop by the Interweb store at shoponrazorback.com.
Whoa, that's a first, Dad. You actually got it right. How'd you do that?
Well, I use that Googleator thing.
And we're back.
Anyway, that was shoponrazorback.com.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, and I have a plaque to prove it.
Folks, it just does not get more Razorback than us.
Go
Hawks.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hey everyone, David Rath here with Rath Auto Resources. Since the state's giving you a tax-free weekend, we figured we'd go one better. 2 weekends of state sales tax paid when you trade, and all the weekdays in between. Just bring in your old car and upgrade to the road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle of your choice and get state sales tax paid. Get state sales tax paid when you trade, now through August 9th. Just another reason why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, rathautofortsmith.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Choose your escape. Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. Take a luxurious dip with the $5 Classic box. Indulge in a lavish meal with the $7 Supreme box. Or explore new worlds with the $9 Discovery box, now featuring the crispy chicken burrito for a truly unmissable experience.
Is that Tony Hawk?
Get Lux for less, only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Roback's got the gear for your perfect summer days.
East Coast summers living on the run. Now the beachfront nights, 5,000 thunderstorms. Won't you kiss me, darling? Tell me that you're gonna stay. Yeah. Give me those East Coast summers, Maryland to Maine. Now the seaside.
Shop polos, hoodies, Q-zips, and much more in the American Summer Collection at Roback.com.
Roback made finding the perfect pair of pants or shorts much easier. They're a clean fit with comfortable premium fabric. They look great on and off the golf course. So shop at Roback.com for the Delta pants and shorts.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
Hey, it's Colton Little. Been trying to kill a little bit of time at work, so I logged on to MyBookie, and as the clock has ticked by, I've already made money, and I've already had a good time. They've got tons of great stuff on there. I'm talking about blackjack, roulette, live dealers, poker, and a full lineup of slots. They didn't make me download an app. All I had to do was just log in, made a quick deposit, and then I was playing games and winning money. If you're thinking about checking out MyBookie, you should have done it yesterday. Use the promo code HOGS, and they'll toss you a nice deposit match of up to $1,000. And now you can bet on the Hogs all season long with MyBookie.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Choose your escape. Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings Boxes. Take a luxurious dip with the $5 Classic Box. Indulge in a lavish meal with the $7 Supreme Box.
Remains beloved in Fayetteville for his authenticity and love of the Razorbacks, but Goodwill has limits. If the wins don't follow in 2025, especially in a brutal SEC landscape, Pittman risks being remembered more for his charm than his record.
Live from the Busch Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
It's hour number 2, Think Tank Thursday here on The Morning Rush. We asked Chat yesterday to give us a description of myself and Colton. Some good, some bad. Also Sam Pittman as well, as you heard there. We also asked you to give us some feedback about having a kid, which Baylor Brad has chimed in. He sent me this video of Tim Tebow holding his daughter. He also said, enjoy the time in the process. Comfort your wife. You're learning for the first time to be a father. It's fun. Clay adds, started college fun today. So a couple other piece of his advice from my dad and Clay, who's also a father as well. We'll get to Tom coming up momentarily here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Also want to take Ryan in Hot Springs call as well, which, my bad, Ryan, you've been waiting about 30 minutes. I'm a moron. Before we do that, though, I want to tell you what's going on at Uncorked. Always a great place that you can stop in Fort Smith at 5501 Phoenix Avenue. Live music coming up. Tomorrow, it's Gary Hutchinson. Next Friday, it's James Strong. And then some guy named Rob on August the 22nd. Great food. The chef special this week is surf and turf with marinated grilled strip and butter poached lobster. Plus, you get a collard green chimichurri tossed salad as well. They have lunch Tuesdays through Friday. That's coming soon. I know they're excited about that. That's really great at Uncorked. So many things always going on. Chef Jazz has a fantastic menu. Their food, their drinks. I took my parents there a couple months ago, and they loved it. Uncorked, Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. Ryan's in Hot Springs this morning. Ryan, I'm sorry. I appreciate you patiently waiting. What's going on, man?
Oh, not a whole lot. I got that story to tell you, but I did want to tell Colton that once your baby gets here, man, just best advice I got for you is just be patient because your wife's probably going to need it. Everything she just went through, plus she's got a baby here now too. So that's pretty much my best advice for you is just be patient and be as attentive as you can. Not saying that you're not, but it's a lot for both of you, and she's going to go through the trauma she's going to go through, and just be patient. It's the best advice I got for you.
Thank you, Ryan. Be the opposite of who I am. Always good advice. Will do.
So I was kind of telling Ty a little bit that you ever walked into a conversation that you wished you could have walked away from?
I think plenty of people do that on this show.
Well, so this was right around 2017, somewhere between 2017 and 2019, and I happened to be. I can take you right to the square I was standing on there in Central Walmart, and I happened to look over and this guy's got an A-State shirt on, and I'm like, well, that's kind of weird, but because it's either you either got a Lake Hamilton shirt on or an Arkansas shirt there in Hot Springs. That's just kind of the way it is. And so I just look over and I said, hey man, I said because we made eye contact, so just trying to be polite, and so I said, well, you think A-State's gonna be any good next year? And the next thing I know, I got a finger being wagged at me and tell me how ashamed, basically, like I was in charge of the Razorbacks not playing A-State. And next thing I know, this guy is going full detail about how he put a curse on Arkansas until Arkansas plays A-State. And at that point, the A-State game had not been announced.
Mm-hmm.
He started going. I don't remember the exact, but he was telling me about how he goes. The Cubs, the goats. I did that to him. He said the curse won't be lifted until they get done playing. I'm like, well, all right. But so that was I always heard A-State fans were kind of weird, but I just thought I'd share that with y'all and get y'all's thoughts on that. And if he really did put a curse on us, maybe it'll be lifted.
Well, I hope that's the case. Obviously, it was for the Cubs at some point, but I don't know if the GOAT ever made it into Wrigley. Boston Red Sox, the curse of the Bambino. There's stuff that happens. I know we've talked about it in the Arkansas side of things. So it's like we got to get Nolan's name on the court. Well, it's on the court, so hopefully they can win another national championship. Heck, maybe in Indianapolis, Indiana in 2026. I mean, there's all these like jinxes, curses. We often wonder, why can't Arkansas baseball win a national championship? They've done everything right. You've got a coach that heads up the program that does it the right way, and for whatever reason. And there's elements, obviously, why they haven't won, but you feel like at times you are cursed as an Arkansas football, basketball, and baseball fan. And a stat that I bring up from time to time that's unfortunately accurate, this doesn't include Texas A&M and Texas and Texas A&M, Missouri, and Oklahoma. But if you wanted to include Oklahoma and Texas, you could. Since 92, since 95, every school, I think, has won a national championship in football, basketball, or baseball except you. I think I did the information, even Vanderbilt. Yeah, in baseball. Corbin's got, I think, 2 of them. Maybe just 1, but I think he's got 2. So that, I know you can't win a championship in a sport every year, but it's been 3 decades, 30 years where you haven't won one in football, basketball, and baseball. You feel like that you're right in the thick of things every year in baseball. You feel like that really the last few years under Muss and now Cal that you should be there in basketball, and football doesn't necessarily feel like it's going to get to that. So maybe it will at some point. Tom Murphy joins us now, Whole Hog Sports Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Tom, popping pads today, baby. I know you love to do that back in old smack over high school days. What's going to be different about today, man?
Well, we might see a few more strains and bruised bones and things like that. But yeah, I mean, they practice very physically, even when they're in spider pads, and it just amps it up just a little bit. And of course, on this day today, we get Eric Mateos in the O-line, so they're probably about the most involved in the full contact, and so we'll get to hear what they have to say about it today.
So Fernando Carmona Jr. moves on the inside. They bring in Corey Robinson. I know people you don't necessarily get like, oh my gosh, we got an awesome offensive lineman. But Tom, this was one of the higher recruited guys in the portal. How big a role could he play on Mateos and Sam Pittman's offensive line this fall?
Well, I mean, it could be pretty big. And they came out of spring, even though the last scrimmage we saw, the defense was throwing some blitz and stuff at them that they struggle with. And we talked to somebody that very day. I think we talked to Carmona. Or maybe it was a day or two later, but we talked to him, and it's like, man, they got us today. We weren't there. We didn't pick it all up, and so they're going to have to be a lot more attuned to what their blitz calls. Where the blitz is coming from, what the call looks like, who slides, and that kind of stuff. But they feel like physically, with Robinson at left tackle and some combination of Imarian Harris and Shaq McCroy at right tackle. They'll be upgraded there. And then the interior gave up a lot of pressures in the pass game last year and kind of had Talon on the move a lot. And so I think they feel like they upgraded at center with Kittler over Addison Nichols, and then Carmona and either Branham or Blackstock at guard. And so if you just look at it on paper, they have a chance to be better, more physical in the run game and holding up better against the pass. And I think they gave up 36 sacks, and I wrote about it the other day. I think it was the 5th highest sacks allowed in the SEC. So they could stand some improvement there.
Yeah, I know that's been outside of 21. I know Arkansas is ranked kind of on the back end of the sack totals, which is surprising considering who's your head coach is. But the other element of sacks, Tom, is what you get on the other side, and that's defensive line. So last season they gave up a lot of sacks and they didn't get to the quarterback. I know one of the points of emphasis that Travis Williams has talked about is bringing Dix, bringing Sorey. You heard Nick Perry discussing earlier this week. It's like, hey, I'm confident because he feels like that we got the guys on the outside to defend that. So what kind of elements you're kind of alluding to it? What kind of elements have you seen Arkansas in maybe some blitzes thus far to try and pick up pressure this fall?
Well, we haven't seen a whole lot of team periods to see what the blitzes are looking like, who's the most likely to go, but on the linebackers. But we saw that Sorey was a great rusher last year, and I think Dix will be pretty good at it, although he stays more in the middle. Even though you can send him. And then we know Brad Spence, I think, had 5 sacks. And so I think Shaw would be your guy who kind of maybe has that Brad Spence type role.
Mm-hmm.
But, we're looking at the rosy picture, I guess, in terms of, oh, yeah, they're gonna hold down corner more, and that's going to allow, even though they don't have any big-name pass rushers, that's going to allow people to get to them. Well, maybe. And I wrote today that the cornerbacks might be, I wrote a couple days ago, the wide receivers have the most questions on the team. Well, pass rush might have just as many or more questions. Where, is O'Key going to be better? Is Quincy going to be Quincy Rhodes going to be what they're talking him up as?
Mm-hmm.
Or will they get stymied on the edges enough that they have to send linebackers? I mean, there has to be points in games where you feel like you can get the quarterback with 4. And if they can get to that point, then it will have been a pretty good season. But to think that you have to go with 5 or 6 on the pass rush is a little bit risky, especially if cornerback slips or something like that. So it's all just this big cat and mouse game. But they want to be able to blitz more and hold up in their man coverage, and we'll see how that works out.
Tom Murphy's with us, Whole Hog Sports Arkansas Democrat Gazette. He's taking in fall camp. You can call it summer camp, you can call it fall camp. I don't care. He's taking it in the last few days. Tom, one of the things I saw yesterday, and he's gotten some accolades, but Cam Shanks listed as first-team All-American by Sporting News. I know there's been a punt return touchdown here and there. Nathan Perotti, Isaiah Satania gets BYU. Bryce Stevens gets Missouri State, but you saw this kid firsthand last year for UAB. What have you maybe seen, or what have you heard about Cam's impact and what it could be on special teams this upcoming season?
Well, I think the people who predict that stuff look at, this guy's a returning punt return, average yardage guy in the nation. Oh, and now he's at Arkansas. And so it stands to reason he could be a first-team preseason All-American. Shifty, he's a short guy, and honestly, in the slot right now, he is behind Raylan Sharp, who just had a really nice day today. He had a touchdown today in fastballs. And as I predicted on this show Tuesday, I think he's going to lead the team in receptions. But Shanks will get his action, I think, in the slot. And if they can block things up well, he'll have the opportunity to return some punts. They want to return punts more than, say, they did last year when there were several fair catches on punts that were returnable.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed to me like it was kind of a program, idea or deal to let's just catch them and be safe with them. And they might be a little bit more aggressive with that this year.
You mentioned what you alluded to on Tuesday. I think about, and I know these guys are like Arkansas, basically Hall of Famers, but Joe and Jarius weren't the biggest guys. We had Coach Adams on last week. We've had Jarius on before. Jarius was known as a leader, tremendous route runner. Joe was known as the Jet. Could turn a little pitch into a 92-yard touchdown like he did against Auburn. Do you anticipate Petrino bringing Shanks and Raylan Sharp out in some packages this fall, Tom?
I think if I can recall in spring, I think they did talk about that being a possibility. And by the way, side note, the Goodyear blimp, or a Goodyear blimp, is flying right over Maple Street.
Is it really?
Right now. I'm right outside the Broyle Center looking northbound, and the Goodyear blimp is headed right at me. And I don't know why it's here. But anyway, yeah, I mean, there could be packages, but they're both like 5'8", 5'9". And as Ronnie Fouch pointed out the other day, when I asked him about lack of height, is it a concern? He's like, we're more about getting separation and having speed, and it doesn't matter how tall you are if you're open and you get the ball. So we'll see how that turns out.
You know, it's crazy. Like, Andrew Armstrong got nacked for his, like, what he did at the combine and stuff. And, I mean, he was open all the time last year because I feel like he was precise. He had the best hands on the team, maybe outside of Tesla. Him and Isaac were neck and neck. But that wasn't, I felt like at times an issue last year where Taylor would hold the ball too long because he didn't have guys open. So maybe this offense will get a few more guys open. All right, so give us an update. What is the blimp like headed to the stadium? Is it doing I hadn't heard about this. I'm surprised we hadn't gotten like a memo or anything. Any idea what the blimp's in town in Fayetteville for, Tom?
I don't, and that's why I was hoping you'd get some callers, people who know. But if it continues on its current course, it's going to bisect Razorback Road and a corner of the stadium. So it would be the northwest corner of the stadium. Oh, yeah, and it's coming. I mean, it's not going to be directly overhead me, which is the very front of the Broyle Center.
Scott. But go ahead, Tom.
Got it?
I was going to say, Scott, the tortilla guy, is advising you to run. He says, run, Tom, run.
Like the War of the Worlds in slow motion. But, I mean, it's just about to hit Razorback Road, and it could go over a corner of the stadium.
I'll tell you what, that is an awesome college football Saturday night tradition that we have. Is like the view of the Goodyear blimp. And I've seen plenty of sky shots of Razorback Stadium. But, Tom, I know you're not up actually in the blimp, but that is a cool addition that they added years ago with college football and NFL broadcast too. Yeah,
you know what? I would take a picture. I think I can talk on the phone and take a picture, but as soon as we hang up, I'm taking a picture because it's actually correcting course, and I think it's going to go right over the stadium. Okay, well, maybe they're just getting the wide shot, the stadium shot for the upcoming games this season. So if they're not here for big games, I don't know. That's just a thought. Speaking of traditions in college football, one that might become one. Tom, I don't know if you caught Roger Goodell on ESPN yesterday, but college football red zone. Now I'm going to guess that NBC, Fox, ESPN, Disney, ABC are going to have to work out some sort of deal because you don't just want the ESPNs to have it. You want all you want them to go to all. I want to see Michigan, Ohio State, or excuse me, I want to see Texas, Ohio State, maybe a touchdown, and then I want to see another 11 a.m. marquee game right after. Would that be a concept do you think would be worth pursuing if you were the networks? And if you're just a college football fan, would you maybe pay an extra $5 a month to watch college football red zone? Thanks to your long-winded question, I'm apparently not going to get a video of the blimp. I got a couple of still pictures. Sorry. So I'll post. I screwed that up. No, it's okay. I don't know what your question was. Something about the red zone. It sounds like a great idea. I'm sorry, Tom. Do we need to let you go so you can get ahead and follow the blimp if you need to? Nah, it's time for me to go in to get ready for interviews. But look for it on social media. It'll be Coach Broyle's statue with the blimp up in the sky. Can't wait to see it. Good stuff as always, buddy. We'll talk next week. You betcha. See ya. All right, that is Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, and Blimp aficionado. He joins us every Tuesdays and Thursdays here on the Morning Rush, both times at 10 o'clock. That is I've always wanted to go up in that blimp. Yeah, that'd be cool. And watch a college football stadium before. Maybe that's a sign of you're not getting a night game this fall because it's not going to be here live. I hope that's not the case. I've already gotten a little, and I say you're not getting a night game. You're getting Missouri at the end of the year, Saturday after Thanksgiving. I just don't like that. To me, I hope that game is one where people are like, we got to go. Like, you could be on the brink of 7 or 8 wins, and again, you can't receive to beat Eli, which ticks me off. All right, let's see. We got an update. Thank you, Kevin in Fort Smith. The Goodyear blimp flying over Fayetteville plant this week to celebrate the 100th anniversary. So apparently there is a
Goodyear plant in Fayetteville. And it's flying over. Thank you, Kevin. We appreciate that. I would not have found that if you had not suggested that. All right, we'll react to some of that coming up in just a bit. We're brought to you by Mock Legal Solutions. Was texting Jackie and Matt a little bit last night about some other stuff. I know they can always help you out, whether you're in Arkansas, also in Oklahoma, in Sallisaw, right across from the courthouse. They're serving Sequoia and LaFleur counties. They handle all the family law, car wrecks, slip and falls, dog bite cases, so you can get an insurance check or a wreck check. I understand times are tough. Not all of us can just pony up $5,000 off the cuff. So they ask for money down the road, and they offer flat fees, low down payments, and payment plans. The laws have changed, and yes, joint custody is the default, but they're not afraid to go to trial and are successful when they do. MockLegalSolutions.com. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price. That kind of caught me off guard for a sec there, Colton.
Well, I wish Tom could have gotten a video, but
I screwed it up.
I mean, it's a
That's
good question.
my fault. I screw up a lot of things in life. Sorry about that, Tom. That's my bad. I did want to get to this. So it's a Think Tank Thursday. I guess we just go back to the show. So if you missed it in hour one, you can go back in the Bud Light Morning Rush podcast, or you can listen to the show on YouTube or X or whatever. We describe the Morning Rush.
These are critical performance reviews.
These ones are critical?
Yeah,
okay.
They're all critical.
All right. Chuck and Bo, halftime, and Ruskin and Zach. Ruskin and Zach's was hysterical. But listen to how chat on a Think Tank Thursday details each of our programming, because we did the Morning Rush yesterday, and now we're going to do our other shows. Take a listen.
That said, the show can at times feel a bit too reserved. There are moments when the energy lags or the format leans heavily on nostalgia rather than forward-looking takes. The challenge is keeping pace with a younger, faster-moving sports media world without losing the show's identity. Still, for those seeking substance over spectacle, the Chuck and Bo Show delivers reliable Razorback coverage with depth, respect, and just enough wit to keep listeners tuned in.
Chat just called you old.
Yeah, they were old.
Chuck
That's
and
what
Bo.
I got from that.
All right, here is the second part of halftime.
The overall format leans casual and personality-driven, which works well in the noon slot. It's not trying to be ESPN National. It's Arkansas talk for Arkansans, with plenty of Razorback content, nostalgia, and cultural sidebars thrown in. Halftime isn't for everyone, but for those who appreciate an offbeat take on sports radio, Phil and Matt offer a refreshingly different and often entertaining midday ride.
And the best playlist of any show on our airwaves. And last but not least, the afternoon guys.
That said, Rusin and Zach isn't for the thin-skinned. The tone can be abrasive, the humor biting, and the cynicism heavy, sometimes at the expense of thoughtful analysis. And that's a conscious choice. Love it or hate it, the show stands out. In a market full of passion and tradition, Rusin and Zach carved their niche by challenging both and doing it with volume, wit, and a smirk.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Rusin and Zach. And spot the lie. Spot the lie in any of those.
Jack clocked us all pretty good.
Listen,
I would say
we all got waxed a little bit. It's good nature. It's good fun, and that was again. Colton didn't write that out. He just typed out. Give us. Tell me exactly what you typed in.
I typed in give a critical performance review of each and every show. I changed
Chuck
it.
and
I
Bo.
just copied and pasted and changed out the names.
Ruskin and Zach. Oh man. If you missed this earlier, I've got to play this again. So Jaheim Singletary was talking about his new coach and Nick Perry.
He got that swag about him.
He got that swag about him. So we asked Chat, who has more swag, Tommy Kraft or Clay Henry? And he gave a very, very detailed response.
Now that's a Razorback radio showdown. Tommy Kraft has that buttoned-up broadcaster swag, the early riser discipline, clean delivery, and smooth transitions. He's polished, confident, and carries himself like the guy who runs the room, which, to be fair, he often does. His swag comes from being in control, staying on message, and keeping the morning rush on track, even when the chaos kicks in. It's that I've been doing this a while swagger. Less flash, more function. Clay Henry, on the other hand, brings the old-school Razorback philosopher swag. He's not loud, but he doesn't have to be. His stories, history, and slow-burn wisdom carry weight. Clay has that I knew Frank Broyles personally kind of presence. He shows up with a notebook, a trout fishing story, and a take that sounds like it came from a front porch in Mountain Home, but somehow hits like a mic drop. That's Arkansas dad swag, and it's real. Verdict? If we're talking clean lines and mic presence, Tommy Kraft. If we're talking deep cuts, slow-cooked insight, and Razorback soul, Clay Henry. Clay's got more natural swag. Tommy's got more studio swag. You decide what plays better on a Thursday morning.
I couldn't think of a better way to end that segment. We get into our SEC update after this.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
They lob it low, and Brazil throws it down.
This is the Morning Rush.
You know what I'm thinking by the look on my face.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-551-3241. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-551-3241. That's 800-551-3241. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is the Morning Rush.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
We all plan to be on time, but fender bending, damaged windshield, and slick road quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That go to hunt.
Dog,
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Swiss dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for two for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for two for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight. We're about to be tough there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hawks have finally climbed the hill. It's the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
In fact, depending on how non-conference play unfolds, any one of these three games could be the best game in college basketball that day. And we'll start with the defending national champion, Florida Gators. They're opening on the road at Missouri. That's a team with high hopes for next year. You certainly have legendary coaches in the SEC. If you like legendary coaches, how about Rick Barnes, Tennessee Volunteers, traveling to Arkansas to take on John Calipari? And then here's one other game that I think is going to generate some excitement on opening day. Maybe just a little bit of excitement, tongue-in-cheek, and that is Kentucky at Alabama.
All right, some big openers for the Southeastern Conference in basketball, including what's happening in Fayetteville, Bud Walton Arena, where the Tennessee Volunteers don't have a time for you just yet, but they travel to Fayetteville this season. You also get Kentucky the last Saturday in January on the 31st. You get marquee games at home against Auburn. There is a load. Missouri is also a Saturday game at home. There are some loaded games in Bud Walton Arena, in addition to the non-conference schedule you already played. Now, the first start of your season is tough.
Yeah.
Tennessee, then you go on the road to Oxford and on the road to Auburn. I think you just at least give me 1-2. If you're 1-2, I think you're happy. If you're 2-1 and you're ecstatic, 3-0, this team's winning the national championship. I'm kidding. But and again, we keep using the same phrase, Colton. It's favorable for Arkansas. Mm-hmm.
Favorable, yeah. You have some good matchups, like you said. One's at home will be really, really good. Garth Glissman mentioned it right there, but last year, Ty, we kicked off SEC play by going to Tennessee and getting our brains beat in. So I think this will be a nice, maybe get some comeuppance right here, a little get back on Rick Barnes to hopefully welcome them back in with. Hopefully by this time, the Razorbacks will have played a really, really tough non-conference schedule, so they'll be a little bit more battle tested than they were the previous year. And I think that first, that first game, we'll be able to tell how the season may end up. But Ty, you said that there are some really good games that you get at home, and the only question I have now, are all these games at home, are they going to be stuck in that 8 o'clock, maybe even 9 o'clock window like we had last year, where occasionally we're up at 11:30 still trying to watch the tail end of these games? So hopefully with some of these more favorable games at home, you actually end up having a better TV window to fit in as well.
Yeah, so a lot of games on Saturday. They don't have the Wednesday or Tuesday games selected just yet. Those, along with the television times, will be announced at a later date, but excited about the setup for Arkansas basketball to start 2026. All right, that is your SEC update this morning. It's brought to you by Joe's Grill and Cantina. Come and eat at any day of the week during Joe's Grill and Cantina because of the daily specials. Like today, it's Throwback Thursday. They've got some old Cuco's classics where it used to be where Joe's is now. Plus, they've got that house-made, fantastic Joe's chips and salsa made fresh daily. Fresh veggies, even carrots, sizzling fajita skillets, crunchy tacos on Tuesday, plus homemade enchilada sauce that goes on those delectable enchiladas. That's the best around. Full bar at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Great Tex-Mex with the best service. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps in Fort Smith. That's Joe's Grill and Cantina, Tex-Mex style. So one of the other national stories that's going on is ESPN taking over Red Zone and the NFL Network, and the NFL getting like 10% equity within ESPN. This was Roger Goodell on maybe the most important thing, Red Zone yesterday.
It'll continue to be produced right here in this building. It will be the NFL Red Zone. I don't think fans will see any difference to that.
Thank goodness. Don't screw it up. Please don't mess it up. Now, here's the part that for some of you, like myself, that's important. Like we have a tradition on Sunday, sit on the couch, eat about 5,000 calories, and my hands in the pants for about 7 hours just relaxing. Now, Saturdays for you, some of you have to decide. It's like you tell your significant other, you get Saturdays or Sundays. You don't get both. I don't have that significant other or a kiddo that's Colton's about to have that I really don't have anything else I'm doing on weekends. So that's what I'm doing. But for Saturdays for you might be college football day. That might be from college game day at 8 a.m. to Pac-12 after dark till 11 or 12 that night. That's what you're doing. You might have to go to Home Depot here and there, run an errand here and there, do something, but that is your day. That's your Saturday. Well, it sounds like there's a possibility of college football red zone, which I think they've kind of tried with goal line before. I don't necessarily know as a hit. I think what they have to do in this situation is what the National Football League does with Fox and with CBS is they go back and forth between both networks.
Yeah.
You've got to do that with Fox. You've got to do that with NBC. You've got to do that with ABC, ESPN, all the ESPN properties. That's something that I think fans would pay an additional money for. I personally would, and I think it would be worth it. What do you think?
Well, Ty, how good would the NFL Red Zone be if they didn't show the AFC South and the NFC West? They just, all of a sudden, those games didn't matter. It didn't happen. You had no idea what was going on. They didn't talk about it. They acted as if they didn't happen. It wouldn't be any good. What's good is, like you mentioned, they have all the different teams, all the different games from all the different networks, and that's obviously a big hurdle to kind of, jump over. And another thing is, you got to find somebody also that has enough ball knowledge that can sit there and talk about all these things. Somebody that can run the show just like Scott Hansen does. It'd be difficult to do it.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't disagree on that. So I think I guess I just wonder what that looks like moving forward. But in terms of red zone, there has been speculation that they're going to mess it up compared to what the NFL's been doing. We asked Chat here on a Think Tank Thursday what's going to happen.
It depends which ESPN shows up. If we get innovative ESPN, the one behind Manningcast, high-level production, and strong talent pairings, then an ESPN version of Red Zone could be a fresh take that adds polish, deeper storytelling, or maybe even fantasy integrations. But if we get corporate ESPN with too many promos, awkward cross-promotion, and forced personalities, then yeah, there's a real risk they overproduce it and miss the magic of what makes Red Zone great.
I don't mind Stephen A. Smith. In fact, I like him. He's really good. He's worked his tail off over the years, but I don't necessarily want Stephen A. Smith on Red Zone. I want to see Siciliano or I want to see Scott Hansen. I don't really have a care in the world which one it is.
Well, you don't want commentary. You don't want anybody's opinion. You just want him telling you what's happening, who scored.
That's pretty much it. And I'm a simple guy, and I think that's the way to ask. That's what I'm asking for in this situation. Don't know if we're going to get it, but I want to at least ask about it. All right, so we got some text, as it is a Think Tank Thursday. We got some text that maybe didn't hear the Morning Rush critique yesterday with myself, Colton, and Tommy. So we're going to play that for you now because we've done it a little bit with Chuck and Bo, halftime, Ruskin and Zach. Brace yourselves because this is
scathing review.
This is pretty scathing.
Got it. Here's a more critical take on the Morning Rush, still within 200 words. The Morning Rush positions itself as the flagship of ESPN Arkansas, but it often feels more chaotic than compelling. The show leans heavily on Razorback passion, which plays well with diehards, but that same passion sometimes overshadows substance. Tommy Kraft brings stability and keeps the show on the rails, but too often he ends up in the role of babysitter rather than host. Ty Richardson, while energetic and confident, frequently trades nuance for volume, turning debates into shouting matches that lack depth. The show can fall into predictable cycles, the same callers, recycled takes, and over-reliance on fan outrage to carry content. There's potential for sharp analysis and meaningful discussion, but it's often lost in the rush to be provocative or entertaining. Despite that, the Morning Rush remains popular because it reflects the emotional highs and lows of Arkansas fans.
That's right.
But popularity doesn't always equal quality. If the show wants to grow beyond being just a megaphone for Razorback frustrations, it needs tight, fresher voices and more thoughtful segments. Right now, it's less must-listen radio and more background noise for fans who just want to hear someone yell about the Hogs before work.
I'm hurt.
I just asked him to be more critical. I didn't think that's all it took.
That was phenomenal.
God bless.
I listen to that and I think, maybe a little self-reflection from time to time would help this this program.
Not a chance.
Chat, I can't say I disagree with a lot of what you just said. I was thinking about saying something after that, but I refrained because I don't want to get called.
It's just a computer, Tom.
Yeah.
It's just a computer.
Well, that was.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have played that one.
That was great. That was good. Listen, it's what I don't remember. It was Clay or what. I was like 10 years ago. Started doing this, and it's the self-deprecation. It's making fun. I mean, there are things that obviously go too far. There are things that become personal that have become personal on these airwaves, and not necessarily a fan of those. But if you can't laugh at yourself, you can't. I'm the school or the radio whipping boy on every show. It's just part of it, and apparently Chat has figured that out by listening to other shows, taking in the technology, taking in that.
Well, I'll ask ChatGPT maybe later on to be more critical of everybody else.
No, I don't want that.
Hear that?
No, that was great. He was just enough critical of the other shows. And listen, we asked for a more critical review.
He said that we're still popular, but just because we're popular doesn't mean that it's quality.
Stuff to work on, which we got to do
down.
each and every day here on the Morning Rush and ESPN Arkansas.
We'll get this fixed here soon.
Well, I don't know how much that Clint Gaston and Jacob and the team over there have to work on because everything's pretty good at Gaston's right now. Go to gastons.com. You call them at 870-431-5202. Awesome place. I can tell you firsthand, the restaurant's great. Fishing's great. When a little city slicker like myself can go and catch like 23 fish over the course of 2 days and not really have to lift a finger. I mean, I'll throw the rod, I guess, but it's pretty easy. Gastons.com. Check out their videos on Facebook. They're fantastic. Their photos. I mean, everyone's always having a good time. Well, there's a reason for that. It's the food, it's the family atmosphere, and it's the scenery as well, which is unbelievable. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Gotta have the most stars. We just need the best team. Y'all good? Yeah. Let's go kick their ass.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hey everyone, David Rath here with Rath Auto Resources. Since the state's giving you a tax-free weekend, we figured we'd go one better. 2 weekends of state sales tax paid when you trade, and all the weekdays in between. Just bring in your old car and upgrade to the road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle of your choice and get state sales tax paid. Get state sales tax paid when you trade, now through August 9th. Just another reason why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, rathautofortsmith.com.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
The Golf Nut is thrilled to introduce new products for 2025, including Cobra Dark Speed Adapt Woods and Irons, King G440 Woods and Irons, and TaylorMade QI35 Woods. Lap putters, including the latest OZ model, are also available. Whether you want to improve your swing or enjoy the game, the Golf Nut offers a range of options. Book a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators and experience golfing greatness. Visit the Golf Nut at 5121 Towson Avenue for your ultimate golfing destination.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
We all make plans for the future, like car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howe in Van Buren.
Every Thursday, take a trip down memory lane at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Joe's is bringing back the flavors you loved from Cuco's, the beloved restaurant that once called this place home. Join Joe's Grill and Cantina for Throwback Thursday and savor classic Cuco's dishes. It's the taste from the past with the vibrant atmosphere of Joe's. Don't miss out on the reunion every Thursday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Come for the food, stay for the memories. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Everybody's talking at me.
Hey, I appreciate you guys. Take my call. Listen to you guys all the time on my drive. I'm going to have to lean towards Ty here.
I'm tired as a fan being fed a bunch of lies and garbage.
You know, you got this wonderful staff that you have. Great day to be a Razorback, you know. That's my hero. I want to be when I grow up.
I appreciate what you guys do.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Short answer, almost certainly not.
So what do we ask chat there? We'll get into that coming up here on a Think Take Thursday. I keep saying Tuesday. That's going to drive me insane. I'm going to punch my own self in the face. Hey, as we get going here, or I say we get going, as we close up the shop here on a Thursday edition of the Morning Rush, want to remind you about Grit Garage Doors. Maybe you have a squeaky door, broken remote opener, or the door's off track, or you just need a new door. Well, they have a local team serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas. They're family owned and operated, and they don't operate off commission. They serve you and their hands with integrity and their service with grit. Check out their Facebook page for a family fun day giveaway, food, travel money. They love families, and they love giving back to their community. No job is too small or too large. Custom door, when you dream it, they can build it. Rental property, need a new door, no problem. That's Grit Garage Doors, 479-430-3667. And go online to gritgaragedoors.com. All right, so again, what question do we ask chat? Oh, we asked chat here on a Think Tank Thursday, as it is National Sea Serpent Day. Does the Loch Ness Monster exist? Here's the response.
Long answer. The Loch Ness Monster is one of the most famous cryptids. Sightings date back centuries, but the modern legend really took off in the 1930s. Since then, photos, videos, and sonar readings have surfaced, but none have provided conclusive proof. Here's why scientists overwhelmingly say it's not real. No physical evidence. Despite decades of investigation, there are no bones, DNA, or verified sightings that hold up under scrutiny. Sonar and drones have scanned the loch repeatedly with no definitive hits. Loch Ness isn't bottomless. It's been pretty thoroughly searched.
So Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, which is more likely to?
Oh, Bigfoot's more likely.
Think
I
Big-
would say. They made a
Bigfoot's more
movie
likely.
about Bigfoot in Arkansas. You ever seen that movie, Ty?
I have not.
The Legend of Boggy Creek. It's about the Falk monster in Falk, Arkansas. Now, pretty scary.
Falk? Oh, where's
Falk, Arkansas?
Where's Falk, Arkansas?
Southwest Arkansas, I think.
Okay.
It's nice. It's a nice little movie, 1973, I believe. The Legend of Boggy Creek. It's about the famous Southern Sasquatch. It's a very good movie. It's not. I mean, not really. It's terrible
It's
quality,
bad.
but it's interesting.
Okay.
It's about Arkansas, famous Bigfoot, Southern Sasquatch. That's definitely got to be more real. What he said about the fact that the lake is kind of a defined place. Excuse me, the loch, kind of a defined place. I don't know that Nessie's really there. We'd have seen her by now. But
Okay.
Bigfoot, I could believe that.
Believe on
100%.
Bigfoot. Well, now we know that Colton is more of a Bigfoot believer than he is.
Don't you want to be the guy that captures the mighty Bigfoot?
It'd be nice. One of those two creatures, if they exist, would be nice to take down. All right, coming up tomorrow, we've got Football Friday. We'll have more fall camp stuff. I think Kyle Sutherland of hogby.com is going to join us. We'll get a chance to talk with him. Good stuff from Tom today. We found it earlier. If you missed our conversation with Tom Murphy, go to our Bud Light Morning Rush podcast on hitthatline.com or our Hit That Line Now app, which is always powered by Taco Bell. The deal with the Tom and the Blimp is apparently their 100th year anniversary. They're flying it over the Fayetteville plant. Tom got a great picture. I just reposted it of, like he alluded to, Frank Boyle's statue and the Goodyear Blimp on top. So cool mid interview conversation with Tom earlier. Colton.
That's a good picture that he posted. I'm looking at it right now. Wish he could have got a video, but how often do you think there's only a certain number of those blimps, right? They're not just flying around everywhere. So that's pretty cool to get to see that.
Yeah. So cool. Tom,
would you go up in a blimp? Would you do that?
Yeah, I would do that just to see the Razorback Stadium, which we're 3 weeks out, and I'm surprised we haven't heard an announcement about a sale.
Oh, for the name of the stadium?
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe it's
I don't know
Goodyear.
if maybe so. Goodyear Razorback Stadium.
That's not bad.
Breaking news, which isn't news. We don't know if that's the case, but that would be something. On the subject of Tom, I hadn't gotten to this yet, but I do want to bring up his colleague Ethan Westerman, who writes for Whole Hog Sports, mentioned this last year. So we close out the show. I guess we can do it with football. Arkansas last season was 1-6 in games that lost the turnover battle. They were 6-0 when it won. So you didn't force a lot, and you turned the ball over a lot last year. Like they turned the ball over 23 times. Defense only took away 15.
Mm-hmm.
So that was bad. They were top 5 worst teams in all of Power 4.
Yeah.
In not forcing turnovers and turning the ball over too much.
Players are going to change. The transfer portal is different. You're not going to be used to seeing the same players year over year, but the expectation is still the same. In order to win ball games, you have to do little things right, and fumbling the football away, having a -8 turnover margin, that's not going to help you at all when you're playing big boy ball in the SEC. They got to get those things fixed.
Yeah, we want more wins like this.
Rolling right, still looking downfield. Razorbacks have knocked off Tennessee and they're rushing the field.
That last drive was a thing of beauty. You don't win without the O-line. This was their best game.
You know, he said something important there. If you remember how that game panned out, obviously Arkansas took down Tennessee, I guess 19-14 the final, but the offensive line and how they took over in the fourth quarter with Malachi Singleton and Braylon Russell. I mean, think about it. You're down with a backup quarterback. I know you're at home, but there's a lot of pressure on you. Defense came up big all game. I mean, 2 touchdowns allowed in the third quarter. That's it. They shut out Tennessee the entire game outside of that. So credit to T. Will, as I often do. But that's the type of drive and momentum that you need, not just for one little sequence, but hopefully this season. Because like we saw last year, at times they have the ability to take over games. And obviously there's a lot of changes. You mentioned Nichols gone, Braun gone. They have a lot of additions with Robinson, Kittler. You're hoping to see more from some younger guys as well. But you just want you want a marquee moment like that. You've had them since Sam Pittman's in there. You think about the wins against Ole Miss, Mississippi State. I forget who else they beat in 2020. 21, it was Texas A&M. 22 was that Ole Miss night game. 23, it was finally beating Florida in Gainesville. 24, it was Ole Miss at not Ole Miss. Geez Louise, who they beat last year? Tennessee. So you're wanting more games like that, and hopefully they'll get them this year. All right, that's going to do it for us. Halftime coming up next. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Big C on the way.
Need a new fence but not ready to pay all at once? The Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing so you can secure your home